Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July.
At 46, most boxers have already hung up their gloves, either relaxing in retirement or sharing insights from the commentary desk. But Manny Pacquiao isn't most boxers. The iconic 8-division world champ is back in action, taking on a major comeback bout against rising welterweight Mario Barrios. Inside his intense training camp, Pacquiao is showing that his speed, focus, and fighting spirit are still very much alive. With his sights set on redemption and legacy, this return isn't just about one more fight. It's his way of proving that true greatness never fades.
I said I did it, my nigga, now watch me go all year. Yeah, down it. That nigga, they fear. To them, fear. You feeling show, fucking hoes, me making this shit. Ride on
Eddie Hearn thinks that even at this stage of his career, Manny Pacquiao still has the skill to beat most welterweights outside the top 15 or 20. While he admits Pacquiao isn't the same due to age and time away from the ring, Hearn says his experience and ring IQ still make him a serious threat. He also points out that a Pacquiao comeback makes business sense, especially against fighters like Mario Barrios, strong contenders, but not at the level of top names like Terence Crawford or Jaron Boots Ennis. Still, Hearn warns that Pacquiao's long break could affect his performance, and any return should be handled with care.
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Manny Pacquiao last stepped into the ring in August 2021, where he lost by unanimous decision to Dennis Ugas. Since then, he stayed out of action. Promoter Eddie Hearn has pointed out that long breaks, especially at Pacquiao's age, can be tough to come back from. While his drive to return is impressive, boxing at the highest level is physically demanding, and at 46, getting back into top shape to face younger, active opponents is a serious challenge. Still, Pacquiao's deep experience and sharp ring skills could help him remain a strong competitor in the welterweight scene. His scheduled return against Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title in July 2025 shows he's still aiming for greatness. But with the effects of aging and time away from the sport, the results of this comeback are hard to predict. Back in September 2021, Pacquiao officially retired from boxing after losing to Ugas, shifting his focus to politics and running for president of the Philippines in 2022. At 42, he admitted the sport had taken a toll on his body, citing leg cramps during his final fight as a sign it was time to step away. Though his love for boxing remained, he chose to prioritize his health and new responsibilities. In announcing his retirement, Pacquiao thanked the sport for lifting him out of poverty and allowing him to inspire others, saying, "It is difficult for me to accept that my time as a boxer is over. Today I am announcing my retirement." His decision closed the chapter on a 26-year career that saw him become the only fighter to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions.
15, remember that one. Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable in saying I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great. He fought everybody.
Stephen A. Smith recently shared his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement in a short video, showing great admiration for the boxing legend. He praised Pacquiao's incredible career, highlighting his record as an 8-division world champion, and noted how much he's meant to the sport. Smith also pointed out that Pacquiao inspired fans not just with his skill in the ring, but with his humility and dedication outside of it. Now, at 46, Pacquiao is preparing for a stunning comeback. He's set to face WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios on July 19, 2025, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, his first fight since losing to Dennis Yugas in 2021. Despite being out of the ring for 4 years, Pacquiao is aiming to add yet another title to his legendary resume. The match hinges on the outcome of his Senate re-election in the Philippines, which takes place on May 12. Mario Barrios, 29, enters the fight with a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, including 18 knockouts. He became interim WBC welterweight champ after beating Yugas in 2023 and was promoted to full champion in 2024 when Terence Crawford moved up to 154 pounds. Barrios held on to his title with a split draw against Abel Ramos in late 2024. Pacquiao's return has sparked a mix of excitement and concern. While many fans are thrilled to see him back, others question whether he can still compete at an elite level after a long layoff. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman defended the matchup, explaining that their rules allow notable former champions like Pacquiao to request title fights after retiring. But this fight is about more than just a belt. It's about legacy. Pacquiao, known for his relentless style and fearless attitude, is once again showing his love for the sport. If he wins, he'll become the oldest welterweight champion in history, adding yet another remarkable milestone to a career already packed with greatness.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas, and in that fight 4 years ago, as I say.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't mince words when sharing his thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected comeback against Mario Barrios. Speaking openly, Hackett said that if this fight had taken place a few years ago, Pacquiao would have beaten Barrios without much trouble. But things have changed. He pointed out that today's Pacquiao is not the same explosive fighter fans once knew. At 45, Hackett doesn't believe Pacquiao still has the speed, stamina, or finishing power he was known for. He described the matchup as a money-driven event rather than a true battle between 2 fighters at their peak, calling it more of a show than a serious contest.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, I mean, but Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might around and beat Pacquiao. I mean, not knock him out, but you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like shit like that. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
Manny Pacquiao is officially stepping back into the ring this July to challenge WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios, marking his first professional fight since August 2021. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the bout and called it an exciting matchup while speaking to Boxing King Media. For boxing fans worldwide, this is a major moment as one of the sport's all-time greats returns to the spotlight. Pacquiao's last fight ended in a unanimous decision loss to Dennis Ugas, after which he retired to focus on his political career, including a 2022 presidential run in the Philippines. Despite being out of the ring, he stayed active through public service and philanthropy. Rumors of a comeback never fully faded, but the fight against Barrios makes it official and meaningful that Mario Barrios, the current WBC title holder, is a strong and capable opponent. For Pacquiao, though, this fight is more than just a return, it's a chance to make history. A win would make him the oldest welterweight champion ever, further solidifying his legendary status. The matchup has sparked debate on whether top-level fighters can truly defy age. While some doubt his physical ability at 46, others believe Pacquiao's experience, conditioning, and ring smarts still make him a real threat. The buzz doesn't stop there. Some insiders believe this fight could be setting the stage for something even bigger, a potential showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. If Pacquiao defeats Barrios and captures the WBC title, a fight against Davis, one of boxing's current superstars, would be a blockbuster event. Many speculate that Barrios was chosen not just for his credentials, but because he presents a tough, yet winnable challenge for a focused and prepared Pacquiao. If the rumors are true, Pacquiao's return isn't just a one-off. It could be the beginning of a final run leading to a massive, legacy-defining clash. For now, all attention is on July, and whether the Filipino icon can once again defy time and write another chapter in his storied career.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
Next, cry me a river, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo.
If Manny Pacquiao manages to defeat Mario Barrios, the boxing world could be looking at one of its most exciting matchups in years, a blockbuster showdown with Gervonta Tank Davis. The story writes itself. Two powerful southpaws from different generations, both known for their speed, knockout power, and star presence, meeting in a high-stakes clash. On one side is Pacquiao, the legendary 8-division world champion aiming to prove he can still compete at the highest level. On the other is Davis, an undefeated force and one of today's biggest names, eager to add a boxing icon to his list of wins. This potential fight would go far beyond the ring. With massive fan bases on both sides and strong pay-per-view pull, it could attract global attention, pulling in not just die-hard boxing fans, but casual viewers and major media coverage as well. The styles alone promise fireworks. Both fighters are aggressive, lightning fast, and capable of ending a fight with a single punch. It would be the ultimate showdown of eras, the seasoned legend versus the rising superstar. Whether it turns into a passing of the torch or a final statement from a legend, the stakes would be enormous. Meanwhile, boxing analyst Max Kellerman has made a strong case for why Manny Pacquiao deserves to be considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in history. While Sugar Ray Robinson is often viewed as the gold standard for his skill, dominance, and longevity, Kellerman argues that Pacquiao's overall career accomplishments are unmatched. He points out that how we define greatness matters. If it's about peak performance, Robinson might lead. But if the focus is on total achievements across a full career, Pacquiao's record stands out. Pacquiao is the only boxer to win world titles in 8 different weight divisions, a feat no one else has achieved. Not only did he compete across a wide range of weights, but he consistently beat elite opponents while maintaining his trademark speed and power. Kellerman also highlights Pacquiao's ability to stay competitive into his 40s, something extremely rare at the championship level. While Robinson may still top the list for some, Kellerman insists that Pacquiao's legacy puts him right in the heart of that historic conversation.
Also has a case for greatest fighter, pound for pound, who ever lived. Think about, by the way, I don't think he wins that argument. Sugar Ray Robinson is safely ensconced in that position. But Henry Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, Harry Greb, Sam Langford, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, whoever else you want to mention. Put Pacquiao's resume up to those guys.
Manny Pacquiao's prime is often seen as his run between 140 and 147 pounds, a period where he delivered some of the most dominant performances of his career. His mix of speed, power, and relentless aggression allowed him to overwhelm opponents who were often bigger, which only added to his legendary status. This era also coincided with the height of demand for a super fight between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, as both were at their peak in the same weight class. Boxing experts note that while Pacquiao himself believed Mayweather had the advantage in a potential matchup due to Floyd's size and defensive prowess, Pacquiao's ability to move up in weight and still dominate top-tier opponents made his claim for pound-for-pound greatness incredibly strong. Unlike many fighters who struggle when they move between weight classes, Pacquiao remained explosive and effective, even against larger foes. His success across 8 different weight divisions, especially during his reign at 140 to 147 pounds, highlighted his rare versatility and resilience, solidifying him as one of the sport's most accomplished and respected champions.
Ranking baseball players that I came across as a kid and thought, that's really smart. You have to rank them at their best and then also over the course of their careers. Because when you have that argument, are you talking about who accomplished the most or what heights did they reach? What peak did they reach? Take either for Pacquiao. Take his peak. Was it at 140 pounds when he obliterated Ricky Hatton, Miguel Cotto, and then Oscar De La Hoya, though that was at 147? Was that Pacquiao's peak? Because remember, that's when the Mayweather-Pacquiao hype actually reached fever pitch. Oh my God, these are 2 of the best fighters we've ever seen, and they're both in their prime.
Boxing experts have mixed opinions on Manny Pacquiao's potential comeback, with some excited and others urging caution. Promoter Ben Shalom, head of Boxer, offered a balanced view, acknowledging the strong pull the sport has for legendary fighters. He understands the desire to relive past glory, compete on the big stage, and fulfill fans' nostalgia, especially for a champion like Pacquiao, who built his legacy on defying expectations. However, Shalom also highlighted the serious health risks involved in returning later in a fighter's career. He referenced other boxing legends who came back only to face physical setbacks or harm to their reputations. It is very hard as a promoter to say it, but equally, if you have enough money in the bank, you have to protect your health, Shalom said, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding a fighter's long-term well-being. While Pacquiao is known for his top-tier conditioning and discipline, Shalom's caution reflects a broader concern. Age and time away from the ring are real factors, and facing a younger, sharper opponent could be tough, even for a legend. His words serve as a reminder that while Pacquiao's achievements are deeply admired, there's a hope that his legacy won't be damaged by taking an unnecessary risk.
Thank you to Manny Pacquiao. Unbelievable career that we may never have a career like that again. I want you to take with you, when it comes to Manny Pacquiao's moments, by taking themselves out of a comfort zone, challenging themselves. And Manny Pacquiao is a dinosaur when it last of a dying breed. We're not going to see too many fighters like this ever again. And Pacquiao is going to be the type of fighter that we tell our kids about. Pacquiao has 20 wins, greater than some of your favorite fighters' best win. Manny Pacquiao has 3 Hall of Fame careers in one, winning legit titles in 8 different weight classes. Pacquiao's legacy will age better and better and better. Times go on and on and on. A fighter like Floyd Mayweather, I think his legacy will diminish a little bit. Salute to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest of all time.
Manny Pacquiao's return at 46 is a risky move. While his competitive spirit and legacy make it understandable, there are concerns about his health and performance at that age. He's already achieved so much, so returning could jeopardize his legacy. However, Pacquiao is known for defying the odds, and if he believes he still has what it takes, he might want one last challenge. Ultimately, it's a tough decision between protecting his health or going for another glory run.